Have you ever wondered why certain things stress you out more than others, especially if you're an INFJ? The world of INFJs is intriguing and unique, marked by a deep sense of empathy, a love for harmony, and a keen interest in understanding the human condition. However, these very traits can make them more susceptible to certain stressors. From overstimulation to lack of closure, the triggers are varied and often deeply personal. Let's delve into the 8 common triggers that can cause stress in INFJs. First on the list, overstimulation. Imagine walking into a bustling environment where the sounds, sights, and energy are all cranked up to 11. For many INFJs, this can feel like sensory overload. Their sensitive nature can make them more susceptible to stress when things get too intense. It's like trying to drink from a fire hydrant. The sheer volume of sensory input can be overwhelming. So, if you're an INFJ and often feel stressed in crowded, noisy environments, know that you're not alone. Secondly, lack of alone time. INFJs by nature are introspective creatures. They thrive when they have time to themselves, to recharge, to process their thoughts and feelings. When this alone time is compromised, stress can creep in. Just imagine a battery constantly running without time to recharge. It's bound to drain out eventually, right? It's the same with INFJs. They need their solitude. It's their way of replenishing their energy. Remember, taking time for yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary for your mental health. Third trigger, dishonesty. INFJs are drawn to authenticity and honesty like a moth to a flame. They value sincerity and truthfulness, and when they're surrounded by people or situations that lack these qualities, it can cause them considerable stress. Imagine a world where everyone is open, genuine, and honest. That's the world an INFJ thrives in. When dishonesty creeps in, it's like a wrench in the gears, causing turmoil and distress. Honesty really is the best policy, especially for INFJs. Next up, injustice. INFJs have a strong moral compass and a deep sense of fairness. When they perceive injustice, whether it's happening on a personal level or on a global scale, they can't help but feel deeply affected. The world's unfairness can weigh heavy on their hearts, turning into a source of considerable stress. Their empathetic nature, coupled with a desire for a just world, makes them vulnerable to the pain of injustice. Injustice can feel like a personal affront to INFJs, causing a great deal of stress. Our fifth trigger is conflict. INFJs, by their very nature, are peace seekers. They gravitate towards harmony, understanding, and kindness. When they find themselves in the midst of conflict, it can be incredibly stressful for them. This is especially true if the conflict remains unresolved, hanging like a dark cloud over their heads. They tend to internalize these struggles, which can amplify their stress levels. Conflict is a part of life, but for INFJs, it can be a significant source of stress. Trigger number 6 is criticism. INFJs, with their introspective nature and drive for personal growth, are often open to constructive feedback. However, when criticism is harsh, unjust, or lacking in empathy, it can become deeply distressing. They may take it to heart, questioning their worth or abilities. It's not that INFJs can't handle criticism, but the nature of it matters. It should be aimed at helping them grow, not tearing them down. While criticism can be a tool for growth, it's important to remember that it can also be a source of stress for INFJs. Seventh on the list, not living up to their own expectations. INFJs are often their own harshest critics. They set high standards for themselves, aiming to achieve personal goals and ideals. When they fall short, it can be a great source of stress. They might question their abilities, their worth, their purpose. This internal pressure, this constant striving to be better, to do better, can be both a strength and a vulnerability. For INFJs, the pressure to meet their own expectations can often be a significant stress factor. Last but not least, lack of closure. INFJs are seekers of resolution, like puzzle enthusiasts longing to fit the final piece. Unresolved issues can be a real source of stress for them. Imagine a book with the last chapter missing. That's how they feel when things are left hanging in the air. This desire for closure isn't just about neatness, it's about understanding, learning, and moving forward. When this is denied, they may feel stuck, unable to turn the page. Lack of closure can leave INFJs feeling unsettled and stressed. So there you have it, the 8 common triggers that can cause stress in INFJs. Overstimulation, lack of alone time, dishonesty, injustice, conflict, criticism, not living up to their own expectations, and lack of closure. Each of these elements can deeply impact the well-being of an INFJ. Recognizing and understanding these triggers is crucial in fostering a healthier, more balanced life. By addressing these triggers, INFJs can better navigate their world. Remember, knowing your stress triggers is the first step in managing them effectively. Stay tuned for more insights into the fascinating world of INFJs,